Welcome back to Friday, folks. It's me, Scott LaFlamme, Yarmouth's town manager, back with another edition of the Friday Five, where I cover 5 topics happening in Yarmouth that you may want to learn a little bit more about. As usual, we've got a great lineup with some guest speakers and talking about some topics that we've heard a bunch on social media and folks who have come to the town office. So we're excited to share more about it. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this week's Friday Five. We're kicking things off this week with my friend Ryan Raftery from the American Legion Post 91 here in Yarmouth, talking a little bit about what we've got coming up on Monday for Memorial Day.
Yeah, so we have a whole bunch of stuff coming up for Memorial Day. So a big thank you to our volunteers who came out and added the American flags along the graves for all of our veterans and all the local cemeteries. That was awesome to see. Big thank you to everybody who came out, and Cub Scout Pack 31 who came out big for us. This upcoming weekend, we have the flag poles coming up on Saturday. So it's going to be 8 a.m. on the Memorial Green. If you can help us get those poles up. Yeah. We have about 100 now, which is awesome. And then on Monday, starting at 8 a.m., we're going to put the flags up to half-mast. So we'll bring them all the way up to the top of the pole, then bring them back to half-mast. And then at 9:30, we're going to assemble for our parade. So every single year, we have a awesome Memorial Day parade. It's supported by Yarmouth Fire Department, Fire and Rescue. We have Yarmouth Police Department. We have our local bands, so both the high school and the middle school bands. So big thank you to those band directors and those players. We'll have the Scouts there and the American Legion Honor Guard. So we'll march down from Yarmouth High School on the Elm Street side. We're going to assemble at 9:30, step off at 10 o'clock. We'll come down to Memorial Green over here, right next to the post, and then we'll complete our ceremony. Burke Kendall will be the Master of Ceremonies for this year, and we have Randy Bates as our guest speaker. And we'll go through that ceremony, rock it out, and then kick off our summer.
That's amazing. And hopefully we have a summer, Ryan.
Yeah, we're all hoping for it. Fingers crossed. Weather's good.
We've got our fingers crossed for great weather. I know everybody really appreciates and looks forward to the parade and all the other festivities that we've got going on. So if you have an opportunity to come check it out or volunteer this weekend, I'm sure you guys could use the help.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have our Facebook page, Anderson Mayberry Post 91. Feel free to post on there if you can help out. We have the events also set up on the Yarmouth Community Network calendar. So feel free to engage there or reach out directly. You know, we can always use the support, and we really appreciate it.
Yeah, Ryan, keep up the great work, and we hope to see you on Monday. Number 2, the town's been really excited to help participate in this year's farmers market back sort of out in front of Town Hall on Memorial Green, but it wouldn't be possible without the volunteers that help pull it together. And I'm here with Miriam, who is volunteering with all the other volunteers to make it happen. Welcome, welcome, Miriam.
Thanks. Yeah, we have been having a great turnout this spring. This is our other volunteer, Eliana, and we've just been making sure that we have something for everyone this year at the farmers market. We have lots of kids activities, so bring families. We still have food vouchers, come to the information table. We've been partnering with Magnetera, who's coming once a week, who's coming every other week, and we also have had Brickyard Hollow coming every other week to make sure that we just have food so people can bring blankets, sit out on the lawn, and just stay for the whole time instead of just browsing through and leaving. We want people to come as a family, come as a household, and just get everything they need from our farmers, and then stay, hang out.
Well, it's been fun because my office is right in front of where the action happens, and it seems like a party from 3 to 6 every Thursday. So it's been great to see that. So Miriam, tell us a little bit more about the vendors that you have this year.
So we have some returning vendors, and we have a lot of new vendors too. We have 5 farm vendors this year, which is awesome. They're all supplying a little bit of different things this year. 2 are brand new. New Spoke Farm is going to be the farm that has all the seedlings out. And they're bringing tomato plants, I know, this week, which is going to be very popular. We also have Alewife, who is bringing lots of produce and fish. We made their scallops the other night, and I have to say, they're amazing.
Great.
We also have a new mushroom vendor, Timberwoods Farms. We're going to try to incorporate some guest chefs, actually, this season. So people can see how to shop the farmers market and be able to cook at the farmers market. And then we have some returning vendors. We have Fairwind Farms, and Liberation Farms will start in June.
Great.
When more of the produce comes. But every week there's something new. It's a slow start in the farming industry, but as we keep going, and remember, we go all the way through October.
All the way, yeah, right.
So we'll be having a lot of new things each week. And then we have our guest vendors. We have lots of prepared foods. We have frozen foods. I mean, you honestly don't have to go to a grocery store.
There's so many great options.
There's so many
great
options.
But it also wouldn't be possible without sponsors. Tell us a little bit about some of the partners that you have here in town.
Yeah, so we started off pretty slow this year, just because of the transition.
Yeah.
And I've just been so grateful to community members who have stepped up. The UU Church gave us a huge sponsorship towards our vouchers. We didn't even ask them for anything. Yeah. The First Parish Church just wrote us a check to make sure that we have enough funding for the farmers market. Places like Island Treasure Toys have just made sure that we're on their list of places to give. We have a couple of realty companies, and I always want to make sure that the community knows who's coming, so I try to mention them in our newsletter that goes out every week. And we've just been getting individual donations. People have been coming up to the information table and asking what we need, and putting, a $20 bill in our tip jar, and honestly, that's almost a whole voucher that goes towards a person who needs a little extra financial assistance. So we're doing pretty well. We're always looking for more support, and as we increase in size, we'll always be looking for more donations.
Yeah. That's amazing. We'll make sure we have information below on how you can give. But Miriam, phenomenal work. We wish you the best of luck. We are so excited to work with you and to have it here in front of Town Hall and to really see this blossom as a great community asset.
Yeah, I know the weather's been a little spotty this spring, but honestly, if your food shopping, your seedlings, your produce is actually doing much better in this weather. The hula hoopers seem to be fine dancing in the drizzle, and they've liked the rainbow that comes out at the end. And we have plenty of tents, so we'll set up some extra tents so people can still stay and hang out, listen to music, and just socialize with all of their friends.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's been really great, and honestly, I think that I'm going to start having the kids make our hashtag taglines for the farmers market, because they've been calling us some really creative compliments that I think that I should step back from marketing and hire the 5-year-olds.
Leave it to the kids. Yeah. Leave it to the kids. I love it. Well, great. Well, thanks again, Miriam, for joining us, and we hope to see you next Thursday at the farmers market. We're rounding out the series of bike safety improvements and public outreach as part of National Bike Month with Mike Tremblay from Portland, the Portland Metro Breeze. Welcome, Mike.
Thanks for having me.
And friends, of course, as well, but we'll get to them in a second. So, Mike, in addition to being a stellar Yarmouth resident, an active participant in a lot of our boards and committees, tell us about your role at Metro.
I'm the Director of Transit Development at Greater Portland Metro, and that means I'm in charge of things like planning where the bus stops go and where the buses run and all kinds of fun stuff like that. So
that's
great. It's a lot of fun.
And so one of the improvements that the buses have been installing over the last several years is the ability for folks to maybe bike to a location, take the Breeze to another stop, and then sort of use multimodal transportation options. Tell us a little bit more about what the buses, how the buses can help facilitate that.
Yeah, so all of our buses have 3 bike racks on the front of them. So if you want to ride your bike to a Breeze stop, take your bike on the Breeze to Portland or to Freeport or Brunswick, you're able to do that and just jump right off and finish your journey on your bike.
It's great. So for folks who may not be totally knowledgeable about what we have for Metro Breeze bus stops here, sort of the service that the Breeze or the Portland Metro provides, tell us a little bit more about how folks can ride.
Yeah, so in Yarmouth there's 4 bus stops. There's 2 at Hannaford, 1 on each side of Route 1. There's the one here at Town Hall, and there's one at the Exit 15 Park and Ride. All of the bus stops have shelters, or will, once the one at the northbound Hannaford stop is completed. They all have bike racks in case you want to leave your bike here, and they all have a comfortable place to wait. And I will also note that if you're not sure about the schedule, they all have the Breeze schedule on them as well. So very useful.
That's great. Awesome. So we're going to pivot a little bit over to Lisa from Yarmouth Community Services. Resources, who works a lot with the Yarmouth seniors, and he
Right.
recently just hosted a Learn to Ride event.
So Mike was wonderful. He did a whole presentation for our seniors and adult community members on how to use the Metro. It's very easy, and what I hear from my population, especially the older population, is it's more or less a fear of not knowing how to use it.
Yeah.
And I can say Mike is wonderful. We are willing to do more training, but the thing is, you have to just kind of try it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people here to help you, and don't let not being able to drive anymore or not wanting to drive anymore limit you in what your activities are.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So our hope is in an upcoming Friday 5 segment, we'll actually kind of go through the whole process and show how folks can learn about the different routes, and then maybe take a spin on one of the buses if Mike will have us.
Definitely, definitely.
So cool. Well, Mike, Lisa, and Julie, our highlighter mascot for
Highlighter on a bike.
for bicycle safety here in Yarmouth. Thanks so much for your time, and we're on to the next item.
Thank you.
Number 4, I alluded to this last week, but on June 2nd at 7 o'clock in the log cabin, the Yarmouth Chamber of Commerce will be hosting again this year the Candidates Night, where you'll have an opportunity to learn more about the folks running for town council and school committee seats. Now, I think we're going to have a full boat. I don't know, we might be missing 1 or 2 members, but this is an opportunity for you to ask questions and get sort of feedback direct from those folks vying for those seats. So if you have questions, and if you can make it or you can't make it, make sure you check out the Yarmouth Chamber of Commerce social media pages, and also on their website. You can submit your questions there. Now, if you want to learn more about the candidates, this week's forecaster has biographies and questions related to things happening in town, so check that out for sure. We also hope to see you on Tuesday, June 10th at the polls at Yarmouth High School from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. where you'll have an opportunity to vote on those local elections and also vote on the FY26 school budget. Number 5. As always, we wrap things up by talking about what's on the town council docket. And as I mentioned last week, May is a great month. We've got 5 Thursdays, which means that we won't have a town council meeting until Thursday, June 5th. Now, before then, of course, just a reminder, town meeting is Tuesday the 3rd at 7 o'clock at YPAC, so we hope to see you there. But beyond that, check out all of our upcoming public meetings on the town's website. Down in the bottom right-hand corner, you'll be able to see our community calendar. So we hope to see you at upcoming boards, committees, town council, and planning board meetings. Now, next week, I'm going to be out of the office, so you'll have a very special edition of the Friday 5, talking about a topic that we hear a lot about. It's electric scooters, electric mini bikes, and all the other safety concerns that we've been hearing around town. So we'll have our police chief, Dan Gallant, talk to you a little bit more about the rules of the road as we wrap up National Bike Month. So thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you in June.